Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard if you're brand new. Welcome back if you're not. And welcome home if that sits perfectly for you today. We want to talk about what's happening this week. What is up for the week of the 11th of November through the 17th of November, 2024. Yeah, we're talking about energy, a little bit of tarot, just general messaging. Let's get right in. On Monday, the 11th, we start off with a Scorpio Sun aspect, quincunxing retrograding Jupiter early in the morning. And then that Pisces moon is going to square Jupiter and trine the Sun. Venus will move into Capricorn right about lunchtime. Pay attention there. The Sun, will quincunx Chiron, and then that Pisces moon is going to sextile Uranus and conjunct Neptune before the day is over. So here's your key. Before lunchtime, mind that you're not biting off more than you can chew. There's this aspect of that rose-colored glasses energy, and on this particular Monday, it absolutely could lead you afield, right? Not definitely astray, but it could definitely take you off of your intended path. Not that that's always a bad thing. And after Venus moves into Capricorn, that will basically autocorrect, and you will 100% be back on track. Keep in mind that what you're looking for on Monday is a constant redirection back toward that sense of home. And remember, when we're talking about home here, we're talking about what home looks like and smells like and tastes like and feels like for you, right? These are self-defined and self-experienced. So what you're looking for on Monday are the energies that can create and sustain that sense of home for you. Absolutely. So pay attention. And this is not just an individual endeavor, by the way. This is also a collective endeavor, right? How can you choose to widen your energy in order to be holding the most powerful space for the collective? On Tuesday, that Pisces moon sextiles Pluto 13 minutes into the day, Central Time, and then the moon moves into Aries. And that Aries moon is going to square Venus. She'll trine Mars and also Mercury. And Mercury himself will square retrograding Saturn. So that fiery Aries moon is really going to shift the energetic landscape on Tuesday. It might feel a little challenging to keep up with the momentum that you started on Monday. So instead of folding back into some kind of self-critical energy, try harnessing your energy and communicate, right? Whether that's with yourself as self-talk or with the people around you. If you keep seeking clarity, it will definitely find you. So choose to be expressive, right? On Wednesday, the 13th, that Aries moon sextiles Jupiter, conjuncts Chiron, quincunxes the Sun, and squares Pluto. Wednesday. Spend Wednesday very focused. Absolutely. Fully focused on your narrative. And specifically the narrative that says happy, healthy, healed, whole, right? There is no tolerance for anything less on Wednesday. Use your highest and best as the benchmark, and don't allow any deviation from that standard, from that story that supports it. This is a day to really be in the energy of refusing to step down, of shining, of really holding space as the one who emits the vibration. Yeah, make sure that that's your mantra all day. On Thursday, the 14th, that Aries moon squares Pluto, just not even an hour into the day. And then the moon moves into Taurus 9 minutes later. Venus will quincunx Mars, and then that Taurus moon squares Mars, trines Venus, and sextiles Saturn. So it is kind of an itchy overnight, right? It might make for a bit of a, I see you. I don't know where she came out. I don't know if she was in there, so I'm not going to do that. If she wants to pop out, she will. Okay, close enough. Anyway, on Thursday, grumpy morning, restless morning, right? Focus on your morning routine. And if you don't have one, just stop and take a few minutes really reaffirming your why, or your chosen versions of that sense of home, right? Before you start your day, spend just a little time creating action on those things, right? Doing something during the day that will support that why or that sense of home. And by evening, you will understand why you did. And hello, be glad also that you did. So just make sure that you're minding that and putting action to it on Thursday. On Friday, the 15th of November. Woo, okay. The moon quincunxes Mercury early in the morning. Saturn turns direct at 12 degrees of Pisces at 8:20. Again, these are central time. The moon opposes the sun, right? We have a 24-degree full moon in Taurus. Not long after that, the moon conjuncts Uranus, making this full moon very tightly conjunct Uranus. And then a bit later, the moon sextiles Neptune, right? So here's the deal. That new moon, again, tightly conjunct Uranus, is very much infused with change-bringing energy. Expect the unexpected on Friday, and with Saturn moving direct in Pisces, and the moon conjuncting both Neptune and then trining Pluto, you might choose to expect that your natural coping mechanisms are available to you, right? Keep your knees soft. And what I mean by that is, like, stay in that kind of, okay, I'm ready for anything phase with your whole being, and your full intentions. Your capacities are absolutely on the upswing, and your sense of being able to get stuff done is very much activated today. So the more you're aware and in reception mode, in awareness mode, in a state that allows you to be ready for anything on Friday, that's pretty much the way that your day will progress. There's a lot of capacity here. So as you set your intentions at this new moon, make sure that you are taking into account change, right? The shifts that are necessary. Remember, this is a Taurus new moon conjunct Uranus. Now, Uranus has been in Taurus for quite a while. So we understand how it feels to be in, if you can imagine, right? Taurus is kind of a rut creator. Taurus likes to be safe. And so Taurus likes to be down in this rut where this is what I know. This is where I'm safe. Well, Uranus is this energy of like rocking the boat, rocking the boat. Progress requires that momentum, right? And so this full moon at 24 degrees Taurus really gives you an opportunity to kind of bump yourself out of a rut that you've been in. So utilize that energy. And I will also say, because we have this beautiful energy that is sextiling Neptune and trining Pluto, really conjuncting the energies of this new moon, pay attention to the way that you can hold space for the energy that you hold for the collective, okay? things that need shift and change. And as we come out of this Pluto and Capricorn, which, I mean, tick, tick, we're almost there. Pluto and Aquarius all the time. You're going to want to be visioning what your individual self holds as home for the collective, right? And if that needs a shift or change, this is a beautiful time to intend for that as well. Yeah, I think you feel me there. That's what I'm saying, right? As above, so below. We're continuing that theme from last week, so just let that be. Oh, okay, well, there we go. Not kidding. All right. On Saturday the 16th. Well, early in the day, the moon moves into Gemini. That Gemini moon is going to sextile Mars and quincunx Venus. The Scorpio sun will oppose Uranus, right? And then that Gemini moon will square Saturn. So the overnight currents might find you awake again, a little restless, again, a little sleepless, again. Self-confrontation, right? It might find you questioning yourself in, let's call it, a non-constructive way. You know, Gemini is a sign that tends to be a little self-critical, a little caught in its own imagination. If you can use the upside of that, which is that sense of limitless potential. I saw you. Okay, perfect. Anyway, that sense of limitless potential, of widened expressions, right? Specifically to your own personal definitions today. Allow, whether those are self-reflexive definitions or whether they're self-created definitions, right? Allow for the shift in this, right? Again, we're talking about Uranus energy, innovation. So any new pattern you're looking at creating within yourself, any new pattern you're looking to insert into the collective, this is the time to do those things. So again, allow for the shift and remember to welcome it, right? When it arrives, when it shows up. And again, we can witness the shift and the need for shift as something that is scary, or we can witness it as something that is welcome, right? It's how we kind of square up to it that really dictates our experience of it. If you feel a little bit unsettled, just do some grounding, right? Go outside, put your feet on the ground, put your feet on the earth. Do whatever it is that you need to get really grounded, especially this weekend through that Friday and Saturday and Sunday period. On Sunday, the 17th, the Gemini moon will oppose Mercury, will conjunct Jupiter, will sextile Chiron, will quincunx the sun and square Neptune. So on Sunday, get up and at it on Sunday. Your expressive nature will absolutely be in its own kind of amplification mode in the morning. So speak your heart into action. Really claim that kind of abracadabra. And as the day moves forward, allow yourself to assess your own depth and intensity with an eye on how you are creating as your most divine self. The key here is to be prepared to adjust accordingly. Remember, when we're talking about alignment, when we're talking about balance, these are dynamic concepts. They don't just happen. We don't just balance once and we're in balance. You have to continue creating that balance for yourself, of yourself, with yourself, as yourself, right? Because it's just not a one-time deal. It's not like, oh yes, I'm in alignment and I'm there forever. No. You must continue to adjust. You are a dynamic, changing quantum being. So this is our nature. This is what you get to do. Go you. All right, let's talk. On Monday, we have the Fool and the Ace of Wands. What an absolutely brilliant pairing. Remember that we talked about not biting off more than you can chew, right? Getting a little too far afield, which is, it's true, right? If you're following something that feels great and you're trusting that, it's okay, right? It's okay to trust those things and to trust that that Capricorn Venus movement will get you back into that grounded state, into that functional state, right? It's okay to trust the journey 100%, redirecting your energies so that what you're creating is sustainable. And here's the deal. In order for it to be sustainable, all you need is a continued belief, right? So just make sure that your sense of home is so deep within you, embedded in your belief system, your why, right? Your sense of home is your guiding force this week. If you have that, that will be the torch that carries you all the way through, all the way through. And honestly, that is not simply true for this week. That is true for every day of your life. So beautiful. Haul that pairing around as much as you want. On Tuesday, okay, we have the 5 and 3 of swords. So this is interesting, right? We talked about this as that day where the moon shifts into Aries, right? And then we square Venus, Mercury squares Saturn. And so we do have a little bit of challenge, right? It's shifting that landscape to be a little bit more volatile, a little bit more combative, combustible. So if you're making sure that you're not being self-critical, if you're making sure that you're going to harness your energy and communicate what it is that you're looking for, right? Avoiding the self-talk that kind of erodes who you are and what you're trying to do. Mind the way that you speak to yourself. If you keep seeking clarity, right, it will find you all the time. And remember that these swords are always about your ideas. They're about the things that you think. They're about your pre-programmed belief patterns. And so if you constantly tell yourself, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do that. And then you're surprised when you can't do that. Try up-leveling your narrative, right? Try giving yourself some slack. Try not being like, you're so slow, you couldn't do that anyway, right? So, so tell yourself a different story. Quite often, the hurt we feel is tied to the story that we're telling about ourselves. So, pull them out, right? What you're doing is extracting the barbs from your own narrative. On Wednesday, look, the Ace of Cups, the Page of Cups, lovely, absolutely lovely. This is that day that we're talking about your focus narrative that says happy, healthy, whole, healed, right? And there is no tolerance for anything less. Your highest and best on this day, what feels the best to you, what feels most aligned is absolutely the guiding light for all of your actions. This is your benchmark, and we're not deviating, right? We're allowing that sense of, yes, that sense of this feels right, this feels true. My heart recognizes this as perfect for me, right? Every choice you make is aligned in that way. And in that sense of refusing to step down, you're always acting in alignment from your highest and best. So brilliant, right? So the more you can release these beliefs, the more you can act from that sense. This is a big week, y'all. I didn't really pay attention to what we got down here, but wow. On Friday, the Knight of Wands, and yet another ace, the Ace of Swords, right? So this is lovely. After we have that 3 and 5 of Swords earlier in the week, we get this paired with the Knight of Wands. We get this Ace of Swords, a brand new idea, right, that allows you to pull the beginning of this week, these whys in. We might start out a little bit restless and grumpy, right? Focus on your morning routine. Spend time with your why, right? What gets you busy? What motivates you? What is your primary source of, heck yeah, this is the way I want my life to go. Heck yeah, this is what I want to do. Heck yeah, this is what I want to create more of. And whatever those ideas are for you, you get to witness them in action, right? We talked about really getting clear on your why and then taking some actions on it through the course of the day. Starting to cement that sense of home with what it is that you're creating. And then what happens is that what you're building is embedded with that sense of why. And everywhere you look and everything you experience has a hint of that, or just is the full embodiment of that, right? So take your ideas and make sure that they align with what your soul is looking for. You might experience that in a whole new way on Thursday, on Friday. Woo! Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Swords. Okay, so again, we're summing up these ideas here, summing up the movement on all of these ideas that we've been playing with all week. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune here, which explains very clearly that we're always in motion, right? We talked about this as the day Saturn moves direct. We talked about this as the day that we have our new moon in Taurus, right? This new moon very tightly conjunct Uranus, sextiling Neptune, trining Pluto, right? So we have all of this power underneath us, right? The power of the energy beneath you. So here you are with your sword. This is my idea. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to show up, right? And then the wheel moves you. So this is the power of the cosmos behind you. So we talked about this as really being in motion, so that when the wheel rolls, when things shift and change, that you're prepared, that you're ready. Remembering that your coping skills are on par. You have them. You've been creating them. You've been in touch with them. So make sure that your intention and your awareness of your capacity is absolutely present. And really shifting yourself into can-do mode as you become aware of how dynamic your energy is, right? You're not standing still. You're never standing still. You just believe that you are because you've been told that you are. You're constantly in motion. And isn't that a beautiful thing? On Saturday, so sorry. I'm reading the sun as I say that. You have the Two of Swords and the Sun. So we talked about a little bit of restlessness, a little bit of awakeness, right? Self-confrontation, finding the way that you do that, and really choosing in this sense of not necessarily confusion, but perhaps I have all these ideas now. What do I do with them? So on Sunday or Saturday, wow, why do I keep saying Sunday? On Saturday, I'm not going to look at that anymore. On Saturday, you get to really, really figure out how you want to allow your energies to express, right? So if you understand your why and the direction of your why, here you get to pick your path, right? You always get to pick your path, by the way. You're always making decisions. You can always come up to a confrontation where you have a split. Everywhere you are, you have this or that decision. Everywhere you stand, right? You have that fractal pattern. I stand here. Do I keep going or do I do something new? Do I keep going or do I do something new? The thing is that doing something new is a limitless decision. So it's continue or face everything. And sometimes that choosing from everything is very overwhelming. And as we have that Gemini moon right there on that Saturday, there is a lot. But remember that each and every choice can take you further on your path or further from it. It's about shining. What do you want to do, right? Your definitions, your self-definitions, your self-creation is simply waiting for you to allow your own shift and welcome it, right? So if you choose to continue on the path you're on because you're happy with it, that's great. But if you choose something else, That's also great. You can embrace this as, oh, brilliant, oh, brilliant, oh, brilliant, and still maintain the fact that you have the power of the next choice and the next choice and the next choice, right? That's what allows you to shine. That's what allows you to be in your full power, is witnessing yourself as that dynamic expression. On Sunday, finally, we have the Two of Swords again, okay? So we're pulling this in again, and we also have the Four of Wands. Now, the Two of Swords, again, this is a card of choice, of decision, of the power of your choice, right? You can witness your choice, or you can witness something new. This again, we have this split card, right? This is the 1111 card. This is the a lot of people call this the soulmate card. I'm not that person, but this card talks about bliss. This card talks about shared joy and happiness. So the more that you can get up and allow your why, right? Allow your, where did he go? Well, I'm not going to pull that Knight of Wands up, but allow your why to be your driver, right? And remember, we talked again this week about how your choices for you individually really affect the collective. Of course they do. You're creating it in every moment. And so if you make choices for yourself, then you get to witness them in the collective. And if you believe that you're creating your reality, and guess what? You are. The fact is that you're going to see that almost immediately. So allow yourself to be in action and then witness how that day moves forward, and allows yourself to really create from your intensity, from your depths. Absolutely. How are you creating as your divine self? How are you creating for your divine self, right? How does your action affect every other action? How does your shining affect every other shining? How does your pain affect everything else, right? Really being asked to witness how you are a representative for everything. You do you. I love that this comes up this week, because really this is, we're being asked to focus in on how we are creators, how we are manifestors of our own reality. And sometimes that means really allowing ourselves to witness the fact that when we make a choice we don't like, we have to witness it as something in the collective. Sometimes that's a challenging thing to hear, but when you really witness the way that making your own choices is instantly available to you, not just through observation, but through karma and experience, right? It allows you to create from a deeper place, from a wider place, from a wiser place, because you understand that no matter what you've chosen in the past, that's no longer available. What's available is the right now. And if you choose in this right now, you have access, again, to every single choice, right? Here's your split. Do I do what I've done, or do I choose something new? This is the infinite finger. This is the infinite here. This is limitless. This is everything. So you can keep going in your fractal pattern every single time, or you can choose something new. Don't get hung up. Don't get stuck in the rut because you don't know what's available. Guess what? Everything is available to you. Let's check out our, oh boy, our oracle card here. We have 15. Advocate, reconcile, uphold, adjudicate, balance. It's very sparkly, isn't it? Put it there so you can see it. All right. Number 15. All right. Every deed sows a seed. Ask yourself, are you planting roses or weeds? Pure intentions are kernels of integrity and fair-mindedness. Okay, I like this. Now, let's read. Divine justice is being served, and a fair-minded resolution is being settled upon. Your unwavering faith in a positive outcome is beginning to pay off. Themis, the astute goddess of justice, holds space for you and her balanced and neutral standpoint. As an unbiased advocate, she encourages you to make wise choices. Step back from the current conflict to see the bigger picture. Keep a level head and listen to the wisdom of your heart before you make the next move and final decision. Your heart knows the right thing to do. Karma is a neutral principle, and as consequences apply to everyone equally. Accordingly, there is a cause or a source for every effect and action. Intent underpins the spiritual law of karma. Every ripple causes a wave. As the personification of divine justice, balance, and natural order, Themis counsels you to be more aware of your intentions and actions. Listen, we just talked about this for 30 minutes. Okay. Themis guides you to weigh things from an egoless perspective. Is winning or being right more important than reaching a peaceful resolution? Is it? There is a time to be steadfast about your objectives, but right now it may be more opportune to be flexible and take the higher road. Negotiation requires a compromise. Finding the middle ground establishes a win-win situation that reinstates a natural equilibrium. If you've inquired about relationships, this card may hold another meaning for you. As the proverb says, love is blind. Here you see, feel, and know unconditional love once more, as true love is not blind. Love sees and transcends all. Okay, it says the prophecy of this card is justice is served, a win-win benefits all. So if we're talking about justice being served, remember we talked in the very beginning about balance and alignment being dynamic. Remembering, as we talk all the time, those scales of justice are balanced as you are the fulcrum, right? It doesn't matter which way they tip. It doesn't matter which way they tip. You are always the choosing balancer, right? So it's your perspective that creates it. This is a heart-based energy here. And yeah. So it says faith in action. Weigh up all the facts from an unbiased perspective. Combine intuition with a pragmatic approach to make your decisions, right? So this is, again, a very beautiful balance. Combine intuition with practical, pragmatic information. So we see this here in all of these swords with all of these brilliant why reminders. Everything has to balance, right? It all has to balance. And at the end of the day, you have to do you, right? At the end of the day, you have to do you. So as long as you're doing that the best that you can and maintaining your soft knees as you witness the dynamic energies moving around you, you're in business. This is a powerful new moon. The energy available to you is about shifting and changing toward your more dynamic self, right? Remember, we're talking about rocking yourself out of that rut, whatever that might be for you. Yes. Okay, guys, take it easy. I will see you next time. And until then, be super, super blessed.